Lately, I've been doing a lot of rethinking about my own life, about what I'm doing, what I'm chasing, and whether it actually lines up with the things I care about. One of the things that keeps kind of rising to the surface is art. Not just music, not just creativity as a hobby, but the role that art plays in how we make sense of being human. Because the more I look at our culture right now, the more it feels like we're starting to treat art like it doesn't really matter, like it's optional, like it's just background noise. And I don't think that's true. I think art might be one of the most important things we have. So today, I want to explore a simple question. Why does art actually matter? Before we talk about why art matters, we probably need to ask, what is art? If you look it up, you'll get a definition, something like a diverse range of human activities involving creative expression, which is accurate, but also kind of a mouthful, right? The truth is there's no clean, universally agreed upon definition because art is a big idea. It's hard to put in a box. The simplest way I think about it is that art is creative expression. It's something that has something to say. Sometimes that message is deep and complex. Sometimes it's simple. Sometimes art is just for the person creating it. It can be a painting, a song, a dance, or a story. It can be a photograph. It can be a logo, even a piece of graffiti. It can be professional or amateur, polished or raw. But art is expression. Art has always been human. If you zoom out across history, you'll find something really interesting. Art has always been there. Some of the oldest known artwork are cave paintings in Indonesia. They date back tens of thousands of years. And the oldest musical instruments date back over 40,000 years, which means something important. Before modern technology, before modern economics, before most of what we even think of as civilization, humans were already making art. Every culture, every time period, art has always been a part of what it means to be human. And historically, it wasn't just decoration. It communicated things like identity and belief, story, meaning. So if people who had very, very little resources still made the time to make art, it probably means it's not just optional, but that it's essential. Now there's another divide worth talking about, especially if you're coming from a faith background. Before the Renaissance, in Western culture, art and faith weren't really separate. There wasn't this idea of the sacred and the secular. It was just life. But over time, we kind of created a divide. And now we sort art into categories: Christian music, secular music. I get that question all the time. Do you play Christian music or secular? And honestly, I've never loved that question because I don't experience my life in that way. I am a Christian. I'm also a person living in the world. And everything I create is going to come from both of those realities, whether the lyrics are explicitly spiritual or not. My perspective doesn't just switch on and off. And when we start forcing art into those categories, we end up arguing about things like whether certain instruments are appropriate in church, or whether certain venues are acceptable, or whether certain styles are okay. And I think a lot of that confusion comes from that divide. Personally, I don't think art needs to be split in that way. Now let's talk about something happening right now. Art is being devalued. Yeah, AI is part of that conversation, but this didn't begin with AI. It's been happening for a long time. We've gotten used to art being cheap or free or just background noise. Streaming platforms and stock imagery, endless content, and somewhere along the way, we stopped treating artists like what they are, which is essential contributors to culture. We even see it in how we talk about careers. If a kid tells his parents, hey, I want to be an artist or a musician, they get nervous. That's not a real career. But here's the tension. We don't pay for what we do not value, and we don't value for what we don't have to pay for. And that cycle slowly erodes art and its value in our lives. So why does any of this matter? Because culture matters, and art is the language of culture. It's the connective tissue that holds the human experience together. Think about music alone. Blues, jazz, rock and roll, hip hop, country. They all come from our American culture. Now try to imagine the world without those. Or think about comedy, stand-up, movies, late night shows. Comedy breaks tension and helps us process hard things. It lets us say things we otherwise wouldn't. It heals. Art isn't just decoration, it's how we understand ourselves. It's how we connect with each other. It's how we process what it means to be human. So what do we do about it? Here's a few simple things. First, just pay attention. Notice the art that actually matters to you. The music you keep coming back to, the visuals that move you, the creators who help you process life. Second, support it. When you can, put your money behind the art that you value. Hire a photographer or book a band. Buy the print. Take an art class. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be intentional. Third, create. If you feel the pull towards art, follow it. There are no rules. Pick up a guitar, write something, take photos. You don't even have to share it. You can do it just for you, because creation itself matters. And if you've been feeling disconnected lately, there's a chance it's not just your schedule or your stress level. It might be that something meaningful is missing. And for a lot of us, that something is expression. So art isn't meaningless. It's not just decoration. It's not just a hobby, and it's not something we can neatly divide into sacred and secular. Art is human. It is expression. Art is culture, and without it, something essential is missing. Now, if these videos are resonating with you, feel free to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and this is The View from the Fault Line.